Hey Dave, this is Anthony from ADM. Here to show off a little bit of the telescope and some of the accessories that I'm including for you. First of all, on the telescope itself, it does come with a OK3 focuser, including a long dovetail bar for the bottom, a shorter dovetail bar for the top. It does come with the rings. The other thing is, this is the homemade dew shield that I have. It's nothing fancy, it's basically just made out of a sono tube. Kind of added some carbon fiber to it, some nice ends, flocked the inside. The fit on it's great. You might be thinking it's a little bit long, maybe you want to cut that down, but fit in there beautifully, nice and snug. Becomes a nice part of the telescope. I added a dovetail bar to the actual sono tube because I found that with my VersaPlate, I had to move the focuser to a little bit of an awkward angle. And I added some weights to this side to kind of offset the weight of a heavy camera that I had on this side. So that's the reason I added this dovetail bar. You may find it useful, like as I did, or it can be removed when you got yourself an extra duck 11 there. Moving down the row here, I'd like to kind of show you some of the accessories that will be included. This right here is the focuser controller. Some of the cables on this are a little bit short. One of the reasons for that is I kind of mounted all my accessories real close to the focuser controller. I had a rig runner real close to here and a small computer, so you may find the need to actually extend some of these cables, but they're going to come to you nice and short. This right here is the controller for the fan. There's an auxiliary fan on the back of the telescope. This will power it up with some Anderson power poles on this end. This is the case that contains some of the accessories, and this is really why I'm shooting the video, because it's really kind of a difficult thing. If you're not familiar with the way these correctors work, it can be tricky. First of all, the focuser comes special with some adapters. These are threaded and they're a specific size to accommodate the correctors that are included with the ASA. This first accessory is a little bit of a spacer to kind of get you to the correct focus distance. So I'm going to just thread that in. The next thing is, this is actually the corrector, and this is the only one that I have experience with. So this is the only one that I'll really be able to show you. This is the corrector, which is going to slide into the focuser. This specific adapter that's bolted on it with these 6 small screws right here is specific to each camera. And this one happens to be specific to an FLI. This is the ML8300. There's another adapter that's included, which is more specific to the bigger FLI 16803. But here's what I really wanted to show you. This is going to actually slide into the focuser. This goofy thing is going to actually lock that down in place. There's threads on this. There's threads on the end of the focuser and the extender. And what that's going to do is it's going to lock everything in place. Now that's locked in place. I don't have a camera to show you attached to this. If you could imagine, the camera would actually come out here and everything would fasten by tightening this red disc down. I don't quite understand the reason for this disc. It sometimes gets awkward to actually tighten and loosen because of the nature of this. But what I found, and one of the tricks that I want to share with you, is when you try to loosen this, it seems to get tight, during temperature changes and such. What I found is that if I take the camera and I rotate the camera and the focuser at the same time, it kind of breaks it free a little bit easier. Because I've really struggled with this. It seems to get stuck on me occasionally, hard to take off. Again, if you take the camera and this red disc, rotate them at the same time, it kind of breaks it free. One of the nice things about this system is when I loosen this, I can now rotate the camera independently of the focuser, and I kind of get a little bit of a camera rotator in there, which makes it great for for modifying or framing different targets. So that's a nice bonus to that. Let me take you down here and try to explain some of the accessories. I do apologize because I do not know a lot about attaching this with the different configurations, but again, this is our corrector. The wind corrector, that's f3.8. This one right here is another corrector that will give you a different focal length. And again, if you look carefully, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tapped holes. The adapters will attach to that, which attaches to the camera then. Here's the Barlow. This is an ASA 1.8 Barlow. This is some kind of a spacer. Again, there's those 6 tapped holes, but I do not know how to use this one. So you may have to do some research on that. This will thread into either the focuser or the spacer. And what this does, this actually is kind of like a nose piece. This will attach to the camera, slide into there. But again, I'm not real familiar with this, so hopefully you'll have a better understanding of it. That's the adapter that's included. It's including 2 of these adapters. I think this is used with the Barlow, but this will thread on there. This will allow you to use your collimator, and I suppose maybe the Barlow, but again, I don't know too much about that. Down over here, this is actually the cat's eye collimator that's included. Never really used it, but I will tell you the light that you use to attach to the secondary and shine down onto the primary is broke. So there's a little bit of a cable connector on there. I don't think they're very expensive, so if you needed to buy a new one, but I've kind of included that free of charge. One last adapter. This is a homemade adapter. This is for an STL camera. There's 3 counterboard holes. This will attach to the nose piece. No, I'm sorry, this will attach in place of the nose piece, and this will allow you to actually connect an S-Big camera to this corrector. I'm throwing it in. It's something I won't use, so if you find a use for it, it's included with that. So I just wanted to explain what that is. The other thing that's not shown here is the flight case, which is in the garage, and that's also included, and the telescope will ship with that. That's all for now. I got one more video I'd like to share with you. I'll send that separately. Thank you.